Please welcome to the stage, Juannell Riley.
Oh man, God, I can't tell you how good it is to be doing stand-up, man. That COVID-19 shit shut everything down, man. But it did give me a lot of time on my feelings, a lot of time on my thoughts. It gave me a lot of time to think about just how it felt. And I realized, and I didn't realize this until very recently, it bothers me a lot that my dad wasn't in my life. It does. It bothers me a lot. And I didn't realize how much it bothered me. Because I know my dad is out there somewhere not caring about me. Do you know how much that shit hurt? Like, he's just out somewhere. He might be napping right now. Like, that's crazy. That's why when I have kids, but that you learn lessons. That's why when I have kids, I'm gonna make sure they think I'm dead. Cause look, an absent dad is an asshole, but a dead dad is a hero. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be a hero. Without a dad, having younger brothers had to be a father figure type, and what they don't tell you in the TV shows and the parenting books, all that stuff, is all the weird conversations you gotta have, right? The weird conversations. Like the other day, my brother texted me. He's like, Juannell, someone is following me masturbating. Right? And so I asked him the obvious question, what are you wearing? Right? Because I wanted to know what role he was playing in it, you know what I mean? That's fine. I had to give my younger brother the sex talk as well. That was a toughie. My mom called me. She was nervous. She was real worked up. She's like, Juannell, you have to get over here. It's an emergency. I was like, whoa, relax, Mom. What's the emergency? She was like, it's Devontae. I caught him masturbating. I caught him watching porn. I was like, Mom, that's not an emergency. I'm watching. What? Why do you think that's an emergency, Mom? And she's like, cuz, Juannell, he was watching weird porn. I was like, you got my attention. What was he watching? And she was like, pregnancy porn. And I was like, oh my God, the worst kind of threesome. And so I rushed over, got to the house, looked my brother in the face, and I was like, look, man, Mom told me. She's like, she didn't say. I was like, she did. That's weird. But masturbation isn't weird. And thinking about sex isn't weird. But if you're thinking about sex, that means you got to start thinking about birth control. Because birth control is really important. And he said, that makes sense. Do you practice birth control? And I said, of course. And I do, of course. I'm a comic. I travel a lot. I actually came up with a new method of birth control for the road specifically. Works 49 out of 50 times. What you do is if you get a girl pregnant, you move to a different state. And so far, it works all right. It's obviously a joke. I do practice birth control. I actually learned in middle school that when you practice multiple methods of birth control at once, it's more effective. So I always practice 2 methods. I pull out and I pray. And so far, and when that doesn't work out, it's fine because I'm a Democrat. You know what I mean? So boop. Right out of there. Some of you may feel that joke doesn't accord potential life with the respect it deserves. If you're that kind of crowd, let me know. I don't have to do that kind of material. I will abort it. Get it right. Right out of here. I believe in an audience's right to choose. I did that joke in Georgia. Would you believe that nobody laughed? Nobody. One guy in the crowd actually stood up. He's like, excuse me, funny man. You've been real funny all night, but that one was a little too far. You're telling me you think abortion is funny? And I was like, obviously, please sit down. He's like, well, how about this one? Funny man. What if Jesus were aborted? You ever consider that? And I was like, nope. Is that what you guys do down here? Why would I be thinking about that? But you ever have someone ask you a question that sticks with you, right? Like really stuck with me. It's like, what if Jesus were aborted? He'd probably come back, right? Like, isn't that his whole shit? I feel like we would have been saved 33 years sooner if Jesus was aborted. A little Bible joke. That's fine. Like I said, though, I am a Democrat. I am liberal. I don't know if I could say I'm a Democrat, honestly. The Democrats get on my nerves lately, but I am liberal. And the thing about being liberal in a time like this is I'm nervous. I'm really nervous being liberal because, I don't know, doesn't it just feel like we're on our way to civil war? Right? Like everyone is so angry. And the reason I'm nervous as a liberal is because I think I'm on the wrong side. Because on one side, they have almost all of the guns. That's almost all they talk about. And on my side, the liberal side, we have 100% of the men who identify as women, which which I'm not sure is the best thing for war. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't do that. I'm on that side. I'm just saying maybe also guns. I feel like, I don't know, like let's say you're on a battlefield, right? And you look across the battlefield and your opponent has AK-47s, AR-15s, M9s, bazookas. You're like, shit, that's a lot of guns. And then you look behind you and your troops are cutting their dicks off. You'd be like, oh my God, I think we're gonna lose this war. I feel like that's a sign of surrender if I've ever seen one. And I know I don't talk about the trans phenomenon the best. I know that's true. Like recently I was talking to a trans woman, right? So a man who became a woman, and I called her. And she said, excuse me, I use they, them pronouns. Use they, them pronouns. You guys heard of this? They, them pronouns? And I was like, I am so sorry. I did not see the rest of you. If I did, I definitely would have acknowledged them. And would you believe none of them laughed? All those people, same sense of humor. I don't know. And I'm not trying to resist it. You call yourself what you want. I'll say he or she, but I just feel like them is, that doesn't really feel fair to make me change the conventions of grammar for your comfort. You know what I mean? Like, that's asking too much. I guess I would say them, like if a trans woman whooped my ass, I'd be like, yo, they beat me up. I'd be like, all of them was whooping me. You wouldn't believe how they got me. You wouldn't believe how they got me. They got me, man. They got me. They got me. Damn, man. Oh, no. And this is the thing, I'm not transphobic at all, you know what I mean? I just think, you know, trans people are humans. You can make jokes about them, right? Like, people be so fucking nervous to make a joke about, they're people too, and like, that's the thing people forget in all this special language and all, they're people too. I actually dated a trans woman. That's why I said all that extra shit, couch it, you know? I actually dated a trans woman. Probably the weirdest date I've ever been on. She was so rude. I mean, the balls on this girl were huge. Some people say dating a trans woman makes me gay. I don't think that's true. I don't think dating a trans woman makes me gay, but this might make me gay. So I was hanging out with a friend of mine, and he's gay. You gotta know that for the story to make sense. And as the night's winding down, he puts his hand on my leg, and he was like, hey, you wanna get out of here? And I was like, what are you doing? You know I'm not gay. And you know that thing people do when you catch them in their bullshit, they try to act surprised, you know, he's like, oh, can a gay guy and a straight guy just hang out? What kind of asshole are you? I was like, the tight kind, and it's gonna stay that way, buddy. The more I thought about it though, the more I realized I was kind of being a jerk. I didn't have to assume because he was gay, he wanted to do gay, right? Like, that's not fair. So I'm back to this place sucking his dick, and I'm thinking to myself, am I giving this dude the wrong impression? Probably confuse our friendship some, probably a little bit, I don't know. I did have a tough upbringing, but I was saved, thankfully. I was saved by my grandmother, who, you know, she always told me, and I want to say she did pass from COVID, which is, you know, a lot of people lost a lot of people, and I'm one of those people. It's very unfortunate. But she did pass from COVID, and she would always tell me, you know, if you can't smile, then cry. That's okay. But when you're done crying, laugh. You know, and I took that really seriously. You know, and also she would tell me, stop chasing women; they're a waste of time. She would always say that. She's like, when you're ready, you'll find the right one. So stop chasing them. And it's so ironic because after she passed, every woman I told wanted to fuck me. It's crazy. Like, I don't know if you've ever lost a grandma, but if you have, it's money in the bank, dude. I'm serious. It's crazy. Like, you go to anyone like my grandmother died, and she's like, oh my God, is there anything I can do to help? And I make sure to tell them how disrespectful that is after I come, every time. I'm just like, I just want you to know the way you approached that whole situation was very rude. I've lost someone. Rest in peace, Grandma. I really do miss her, though. I really do miss her. Because the thing is, before my grandmother, I had nothing. You know, I was homeless before my grandmother. She took me in, which that's no small feat to take in your grandchild and raise them as if you were your son, to love them that way, you know? She gave me a lot of empathy, you know? And I never forgot my roots, right? So now whenever I see a homeless person, I try to give. I think that's important. Recently, I saw a homeless person. I got $1 in my pocket to give to him. Closer I got to him, though, I saw he had a sign. And when I read the sign, what it said on the sign really stuck with me. Because on the sign it said, today it's me, but tomorrow it could be you. That's some heavy shit. And I thought to myself, he's right. I better start saving. So I put that dollar back in my pocket because I don't know if you guys heard, but tomorrow could be me. And fuck that. I already did my time. It was me yesterday. I'm good. Did my time. Super chaotic family. Mom's bipolar, which is a crazy thing. Stepdad had a stepdad crackhead, right? Listen, if you never grew up with a crackhead, highly recommend. Because look, it's scary when you're older and you think about it, but when you're young, it's hilarious, right? Because he would go in the bathroom and do his crack, and then he'd put on these little shows, crack shows. You know what I mean? He'd walk around the house, he'd be like, I swear to God, that shit used to throw me for a loop. He'd be like, That shit was wild. Made me want to try crack. It's just like he was having such a good time. You ever see somebody having so much fun, you want to try that shit? I was like, let me get cracked out one time. I never did, though. Never did try crack. Because the older I got, the more crackheads I met. And I realized they didn't all put on shows, at least not on purpose. I actually ran into... This is so crazy. I was in Brooklyn, right? And I was just walking, minding my business. Dude came up behind me. He was like, excuse me, young bud. How you doing, baby? I was just wondering. I was like, hey, man, I'm sorry. I ain't got any change. He was like, change? Nigga, I'm looking for some crack. And I was like, all right, cool. Why did you think I would have crack? He was like, I didn't, baby. I'm asking everybody, which made sense. It's very resourceful. I'm happy he's spreading around. Don't look in one place. That's shockingly good judgment for a drug addict. Everybody, that's good. I mean, what if I had crack? That shit would have been crazy. What if he was like, excuse me, young blood, baby, I'm looking for some crack. And I was like, this is my last crack, but yeah, you can have it because you asked so nicely. I don't know. Growing up in New York, you run into a lot of stuff. See a lot of crazy shit. A lot of crazy stuff happens. You know what I mean? I actually heard somebody say to somebody, they were on the phone. I was walking by, they were on the phone. It wasn't the same day. I don't want you guys to think I'm having these super exciting days. It was one crack episode, and then on a different day, heard somebody on the phone. And they were on the phone, and I heard them yell. I don't know what the conversation was, but I heard them yell, how you gonna tell me it's not raining? You in jail. And I was like, they got windows in jail. Like, you think you're so smart? You know what I mean? Like, come on. It could be raining. It wasn't raining. That's the thing. It wasn't raining. So I don't know if they were having a old argument. You know what I mean? Like, but it wasn't. So she might have been on to something. Damn. Who knows? I don't know, man. I feel like I'm at the point now in my life where I'm trying to figure out if I'm a good guy or a bad guy. Because I want to be a good guy, right? Like, I think we all want to, and we want to think of ourselves as the good guy, but sometimes what we do has negative impacts on other people. You know what I mean? Like, you want to think of yourself as the good guy, but with the things you do, which you don't mean to hurt people, like the other day, it was pouring raining, and I ordered delivery, and he showed up, he was drenched, and I opened the door, and I was like, I ain't even got any cash, man. So he took it back. I wasn't trying to be a bad guy. I just didn't have any. And then I found some cash after he left. He left the food like outside, because with the COVID delivery now, they leave the food outside your door. And so I picked up the food and I brought it inside and I ate it. Does that make me a bad guy? Because that doesn't make me a bad guy, right? I did know I had cash, though. That's the thing. When I opened the door, I was like, I'm going to say I don't got cash. Does that make me a bad guy? All right, cool. Figure it out. Okay. Another example. Am I a bad guy, right? I have broken way more than my fair share of hearts. Way more. And not on purpose. Because this is the thing. When I meet a woman, I try to be open. I try to be vulnerable. I try to show her who I am so she'll show me who she is so we can make a decision. That's how I think of it. But this is how they think of it. They will lie about who they are, and I will show them who I am. They will fall in love with me, and then show me who they are, and then I have to end things because that's not what I was bargaining for, you know what I mean? And what makes that tough is I'm great at sex. Like, not good, great. Like, out of this world good, not good, great. Let me tell you how good at sex I am. This is how you can tell if a guy's good at sex, right? Look at how he takes off your bra, ladies, right? So if he takes it off with both hands, he can barely get it off. He's struggling. He's probably not going to be very good. But if he takes it off with one hand, you're gonna get an STD. So it's about balance. You can't jump too far in either direction. I actually have a friend, celibate his whole life until he got married. Celibate his whole life. And his wife, celibate as well. So he had sex for the first time at 27, and the first time they come together in marital bliss, it's all special, and you know it was trash. How is it not garbage sex? You ever try to ride a bike for the first time at 27? You can barely balance on the shit, and vaginas are way more complicated than bikes, so I feel like it's probably pretty bad. Anyway, guys, I'm Juannell Riley. Take care.
Thanks for watching, and we hope you enjoyed. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure to comment and let us know what your favorite joke was. See you guys next week. Pura vida.